Everybody voted on what you wanted to see this week, so we will first start with weapon cosmetic customization and one last final look at the Techland report later this week. But before I do dive real deep into this one, little disclaimer here, we will not be discussing blueprints, we'll be discussing the actual cosmetic customization for weapons in the game. And we have very limited information available to us at this current moment in time, but we do have enough to help generate a discussion on everybody's thoughts on this. Now, it's no secret, but the second Dying Light is really pushing for having a lot of customization options compared to the original, especially when it comes to weapons, as there will be way more customization options in the sequel. In the original, we were really limited on what to do when it came to our character. Look at the outfit system back then, very limited. And there wasn't much to do when it came to customizing your weapons. It was kind of non-existent at that point, if I'm being honest. But like I said, more player control this time around. This is why when it came to blueprint weapons in the sequel, they're giving you the option when or when not to use your modded attacks, but this was also to make the system a little bit more friendlier and viable. But it does contribute to giving the player more choice and more freedom deciding how they want to use their weapons. But in addition to this, when I asked our Lord Frog about information regarding the weapons, he did say that you will have skins and even cool little charms as well, which is a massive change from the original as it didn't include any of that. Now, when I do hear this, there is one thing that comes to mind almost immediately. Maybe it's the 10-year-old noob in me, but I think of Call of Duty.
No!
So I'm going to use it as a visual example. This does not represent anything that it could look like, only really to give us an idea on what other games do for this. So if you're familiar, you have a massive selection of different camos, skins, and charms available for you to use on your weapons. What it does really well is it makes an ordinary weapon and customizes it to how the player sees fit. If they want a pink neon gun with a funny little charm on their weapon to give it some sort of personality, that game allows you to do so. Now, in the life cycle of the original Dying Light, as time went on, the weapons started getting crazier and crazier, more unique than anything that was originally launched. Some of the stuff being put out there in dockets, the glowing weapons now, are just vastly more colorful, more eye-pleasing than ever before. Having the opportunity to make some of these weapons more personalized, especially with the overall direction that they are heading for with the game, it's going to look great. Being able to cater towards how the player wants their things to look will give them that feeling of personalization and expression, which some games often do lack nowadays. However, I do have two concerns that I do want to throw out there. The first one is being options. If the game launches and it has the same amount of options for both charms and skins for, let's say, a game like Call of Duty does, there will be no problem. That's awesome. It's awesome to see, awesome to have into the game. However, if it launches with very limited options, you are kind of crushing that player expression that you desired in the first place when doing this. Like, let's say it launches with the option to have 3 different skins or 3 different charms. There's no point there. Your weapon will not be as unique and different than, let's say, compared to your friends. That is just one concern of mine. However, to quickly put myself to ease, the original did have a ton of outfits available for Crane, so they do know the importance of customization and having options, especially when they are focusing the sequel on just that. Now, the last concern I do have, this one is kind of centered around the entire gaming industry, so it's not really just set for Dying Light 2, and that is just microtransactions. I mean, you can have them into your game, that's fine, I have no problem with it. The original did have a ton of cosmetics to buy, which was great to see. All I'm saying is, as long as there's a substantial amount of skins and charms available in the base game when it launches, this won't be a problem. But don't lock everything behind a paywall. I don't see Techland doing that. That's just a concern that I do have whenever cosmetic things are introduced like this. Using Call of Duty as the same example, they do have a ton of options, but they have a store that is also littered with cosmetics, skins, charms, cat ears. There's a lot there. I don't see them doing anything like this. I just wanted to throw my thoughts out there. But those are just mine. As always, these videos are meant to deliver news and also to start a discussion. So that's what I had to say. What did you have to say? I would be happy to hear it. I read every single comment out there, good or bad, whether you roast me or not, I will see it. But with all of that said, was a little sick today, probably COVID, but please do consider subscribing and leaving a like as well. It really does help out support the channel, which, by the way, you have all been killing it on here. I really do appreciate it. Thank you all once again, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye bye.